digest. From lane to the new shining ground, echo chants where the legends are found. Heroes carved in the heart of time, we march on through grit and grime. Oh Tottenham, Tottenham till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire. Oh Tottenham, Tottenham till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire. Echoes of King and Greaves in the air. Every goal, the sound declares. Heartbeats pound like a drummer's song, marching forward, fierce and strong. We're the ones who rise in the clash. Numbers running in a white shirt dash. History burns in the roaring crowd. Every game we scream it loud. Oh, I'm Tottenham, Tottenham till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire.
Yes, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, and welcome to THFC to We Die Home Top Present and exciting future, of course, under the mighty cockerel as we look to survive the Premier League and not go down my mic. Yeah, that's fine. Just want to check some. Good. Done. Right, yes, good evening. How are we all this evening? And we're all enjoying it. It's a lovely evening. Saturday's nearly here, but Brighton game's coming, the nerves are kicking in. And yes, we have some news for you. Johan Lang is set to leave Tottenham this summer. Yes, it hasn't, that's what I'm hearing from the people that I use, that Johan Lang is set to leave Tottenham. And really, just think about it. This man has spent 700 million in his time at Tottenham. 700 million on players, and we're in the relegation zone. I mean, when he was at Villa, he I don't know, did he get him relegated? I think he nearly got them relegated. With us, he is going to get us relegated. Yeah, it is a big thing. So he is set to leave. I've got a little bit of news also on the Lewis family and their stance on Tottenham Hotspur as well, and where they are going. And also, there are reports out there that stars are already looking to leave Tottenham, and especially Christian Romero, who is one that is trying to accelerate a move out of Tottenham Hotspur. But yes, that is what we're talking about tonight. So we won't be on long. We'll be on for about 40 minutes or so. And then we've got all the build up tomorrow. Of course, we've got after the press is on at 5, we're going to go through the Zerbi second press conference, the press conference ahead of the Brighton game. We do have the build up show tomorrow night. So me and Billy will be on for that. And also on Saturday, we've got all the watch along and after the whistle as well. And the player ratings on Sunday at 5 o'clock. So join me for that. And then Monday is the post-match show where we go over the game and we sort of try to look ahead now to Wolves, which is our next game. Well, Monday might be a bit different because I'm considering doing a hate along to the Palace West Ham game. If we lose on Saturday, I may well do that just to see, because if West Ham beat that game and we lose on Saturday, they go 5 points clear of us at the bottom of the league. And I think if you lose and you go 5 points behind safety, I think a little bit you can say good night, Irene. The final nail is being shoved in nailed into the coffin. Well, let's welcome a few people in, and then I've got a little bit of an announcement to make, and then we'll crack on with the show. Big up to Giant68, big up Dermo and chat, big up to you, Bud. Hope you're doing well. Big up to Henry Amos. He said, "Who's Lang? Johan Lang, our director of football." That's who. Maybe somebody being sarcastic again, and I can't get it. Um, Big up Stephen Cohen, big up Stephen Simon. How you doing, well, Simon? He says, "Big up Dermo, goodbye Lang and others." Yeah, I think there's going to be a massive exodus of players in the summer. Big up to Wayne Bonner. He says, "Good evening, folks. Hope you're all well." Yes, hope you're well too, buddy. Simon said Vinay can go as well. Yeah, he can go. I totally agree with that. 100%. Better late than never for Lang to be thrown thrown through the door. The useless prick. Yes, he is a bit useless. He is a little bit useless, and Lang should be gone away. He should be. They should have sacked him after the January window. And him coming out and saying, "We don't need to buy anyone. We've got injured players coming back, and we're going to be fine." I mean, that man has no clue. You're in a relegation fight. You got an injury crisis as long as your arm. What are you going to do? You need to go out and pay players. And of course, the owners do not want to spend money either. That's the thing, isn't it? The owners don't want to spend money. So that's music to their ears. Oh, don't worry, Viv and Nick and Charlie and Vinay. Look, we don't have to spend any money. We've got players coming back. Yeah, I've seen the light. I've seen the future. We have players coming back. Yeah, they'll be back. They'll be fine. Thomas Frank would get us out of this mess. No worry. We've got it. We've got it. Yeah, we have. Then we end up coming into the 18th of April, 2 points behind West Ham, and where are the players? And the players are still not back yet. So I don't know. I do not know. Big up to Henry. Oh, that Lang. Sorry, I didn't know. I'm well aware of that bugger. I think everyone's well aware of that bugger. Big up to says hello from Luxembourg. Big up to you, Sinclair Spurs. Hope you're doing well, bud. Big up Giant. It says good to see Madders in training. It was great to see Madders in training. I don't think Madders won't be. I think he'd be back for the. He won't be back for the Brighton game. I don't think he'd be back for the Wolves game. He may be back for the Chelsea or Everton game. I think the Leeds game may be a game too, maybe a bit too much for him. And then big up to Wayne. He says, "Is Lang been given the elbow down to Enoch, or De Zerbi telling them to piss off out the club?" I think it's more the latter than the first one. If I'm being honest, Wayne, I don't think. I look, the non-football people. So how are they going to know? They think Lang's doing a wonderful job. I think this is more De Zerbi than Enoch. Well, let's start with Enoch, as I said, and this is a little quote that was in. I got a little bit inkling from this from the people we used this morning, and I was just wondering, would there be anything in the papers? And lo and behold, there was. There was this in the in the Daily Mirror. It was a piece that was written by a journalist. I don't know who wrote it actually. Let me give Matt Barlow, a football writer. And he stated that the Lewis family have no plan to put Tottenham up for sale despite the looming threat of relegation. And also what we broke yesterday, that the Glazers are interested in buying Tottenham Hotspur, selling their stake in Don't Start Rain. I'm warning you, don't start. That the Glazers could be selling their stake in Manchester United to Enios, and them coming and buying Tottenham off the Lewis family. And that, do you know what? It makes commercial sense, to be fair, because who would you trust more? Are the Lewis family, are they going to be really willing to pump in this serious amount of money that is needed to either to rebuild this squad? And also on the flip side of that, even if we stay in the Premier League, there still has to be a major investment put into this club into buying players. A lot of these players, most of them will go. I think the likes of Romero will go. I think the likes of Mickey van der Ven may stay, but he will go if we get relegated. If we stay in the Premier League, he may stay. I know Kudus will stay. I know James Maddison will probably stay as well, even if we get relegated. That was being reported yesterday. But the question I want to ask you or you all is, what is a good owner? What for you makes a good owner? Is it the likes of Enoch and Daniel Levy when he was running the football club to make us, pay for ourselves? We're okay. We're in a 900 odd million pound debt, but that debt is put out over so many years. It's like paying off a mortgage, and we've got it at reasonable interest rates to paying back that mortgage. Or do we want owners that are going to spend, 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 and to hell with the consequences? Go for glory, go for broke, and then we take whatever consequences come down later down the road. We've been down there before. I've said it many times with Ivan Scholar that tried to play loose with Tottenham and ended up nearly us going out of business, going out of existence, to be bought out and saved. Um, and I think you want an owner that's going to do both. You want owners that are going to be sensible, but also be a little bit adventurous in their approach. And for me, the Lewis family talk a great they talk a great game, but they don't. They don't talk a great game because they're not prepared to back up what they're trying to do. They're not there to back up the words of, we're going to make this club successful again. We're going to take this club forward. We're going to spend money and bring more players in. They're not doing that because they haven't done it in summer, and they didn't do it in January when we desperately need players. And also, if they're prepared to listen to a knobhead like Johan Lang to keep a certain manager in the job, where we all know a man, a blind man could see Thomas Frank had to be sacked, then there's something seriously wrong. I mean, if they're listening to Johan Lang and Vinay saying, "Don't worry, guys, this is the man for us. We've got his back. Yeah, he's going to take us out of this trouble." Well, they got that seriously wrong, and I don't trust any of them. I don't trust any of them to make a proper go of it in the summer. And you do have the likes of Romero that is possibly going to leave in the summer. He may have played his last game for Tottenham. He may not have. He may have done. And it makes you wonder, doesn't it, that what he was coming out with, attacking the board, saying what he was saying in his tweets, it makes you wonder, doesn't it, how badly we've been run for a number of years. And look where we are now. We're in the bottom three, could go down to the championship. A club of our size, a club of our stature, a stadium of our size, the training facilities, the stadium, everything is there. All it needs is investment. All it needs is a couple of windows of really putting money in, spending around 4, 5, 600 million on players. Yes, use the players sales. Of course, use that. But there's no point selling a load of players and just buying another load of players in. You've got to do it right. You've got to get it in the right way. And for me, Johan Lang, as I said, spent 700 million, 700 million on players. Paratici spent less than that. And look at the quality of players he bought in. If you were to do a side-by-side comparison of the players that Johan Lang's bought in and the players, say, for the likes of Paratici bought in, there is a massive comparison. And you look at the work Johan Lang did at Aston Villa. The Villa couldn't wait to get rid of him. What made anyone think Johan Lang was the right man for the job? Did anyone think that this man was going to be capable of taking Tottenham to the next level. They should have just left it to Paratici. Let say, right, go on then, Fabio. You run the whole thing. Go on, you run the whole scouting network. Use your contacts. You run it. We're going to leave it to you. There's your budget for the season. Go ahead. You run it. And what did he do? He built a youth team that was successful, and we got probably one of about 5 or 6 really good youth players that come out of that youth team. Mikey Moore's tearing it up in Scotland. We've got some players out on loan. Lancashire's doing well. I know that. That could be used for the first team next season. And you look at the young players he brought in as well. Archie Gray, Bergville. Players like that have played in the first team that have done better than some of the older players in there. Not every transfer is going to be a success. There's a risk in anything you do. There's a risk in all transfers. But if you're looking at the risk and the success rate of Johan Lang, I'm telling you now, Johan Lang's success rate is about 15% out of 100, even if it's that. So I think the Lewis family have an awful lot to do between now and the start of next season. Firstly, they're going to have to get the house in order. If we do survive, right? If we do survive and we do stay up, then I think this should be used as a warning sign. But mind you, it's been a warning sign for the last couple of years, hasn't it? And nobody within the board, nobody within the ownership of the club, nobody's taken it seriously. Now, would we have been in this mess if Daniel Levy was in charge? That's the great unknown, isn't it? That's the great question. Would he have sacked Thomas Frank a lot sooner? Well, you could probably say no, because look at what he gave Ange last season. Was Ange only in the job because we were looking to win the Europa League? If we had gone out of that, would he have then been sacked? So that's the bigger question. And the Lewis family have made so many sporting decisions that have cost us. And this is not just on the Lewis family. This is on 20 odd years of Tottenham. This is going back to Pochettino. This is going back to not backing him and the mistakes they made again and again and again. And the amount of people they've appointed as director of football or managers that have not been the right fit. Look at the players we've bought over the years. Look at the players we've bought. We spent big money on players and they've been an absolute non-success. So I think, look, I'm saying it before, Tequila said it as well, that this club needs burning down from the top, from the top to the bottom. Because I said it earlier on another show, I put it in the comment. This is not the same club I supported as a youngster and a teenager and a young man. This is a totally different football club to the one I supported. There's no connection between, well, there is a connection, but there's no willingness for the people to look back at our history and say, do you know what? It was done right then. Let's use that blueprint. It's very hard in a way to, no, it's not very hard. It's very interesting to see how football has evolved over the years and how our club has evolved over the years to what it's become now. Owners years ago, all they care about was success, and you won something that made you money. That's how you generated your money, by being successful, winning trophies. Tottenham were really made a lot of money between 1988 one to probably 84, 85. Because in the first sort of 3 years of that decade, Tottenham, I think, reached 5 Wembley finals. So you're looking at 2 FA Cup finals, a League Cup final, and 2 Charity Shields. So you're looking at 81 FA Cup, 81, 82 Charity Shield, 82 FA Cup, 82 League Cup final, and then the 82-83 Charity Shield. And I understand people want jokes, but I'm hurting. I'm hurting big time over this because this is the club I've supported since for 44 years, be 45 years next year. And this club has become a joke. And people like Joanne Lang have let it become a joke. They've let it become a laughing stock. They've let it become a a misfiring a misfiring engine because they've bought players that they thought were good enough and they have not good enough to wear our shirt. They're not fit to wear the cockerel. They're not fit to wear the lily white shirt. They're not fit to go out and play in that pitch. They're not fit to represent Tottenham Hotspur. They're not fit to have anything to do with us because these players don't give a shit. Yeah, Romero may put a good tweet out and yeah, he's one of us. Romero's one of the fans. He tells it how it is. He doesn't give a shit. He doesn't care. If he goes to Atletico Madrid, he'd be all for Atletico Madrid. He wouldn't give a shit about Tottenham Hotspur. He won't care. He'd be saying the same thing at Atletico Madrid if they don't do what they think is right. So all this saying that, yeah, he got us a couple of goals this season, and yeah, okay, he's got us out of stock a few times. But at the end of the day, players are parasites. Players are just after one thing. How much more money can they make? And clubs today don't care about the genuine fan. They don't care about the fan of who supported this football club for 40, 30, 40, 20, 30, 40 years. Because all they care about is that. How much more money can we make off a fan? How much more? They're out today. This is how pathetic Tottenham Hotspur are at the moment, right? We've got a big relegation fight on Saturday against Brighton. What did Tottenham do? They put out today that we've got the best website in the world. I don't give a flying monkeys about your bloody website. And I went onto it as well. And to be honest with you, it's a heap of shite. I preferred the old one. The old one was far better. This one's just, it's like they've let a 5-year-old design it. Maybe people would like it. Maybe it might grow on me. But players are not loyal, and this Romero thing as well. You know, it's just makes me laugh that anyone think, yeah, Romero's one of us. Yeah, he said something good on the tweet. Yeah, bully him. He's probably just angling for a move anyway. He's not a captain material. He's not a Graham Roberts or Gary Mabbott or a Robbie Keane or a Ledley King or Danny Blanchflower. He was there. He won the Europa League. He's one of the 4 captains to lift a European trophy. Yeah, great. Fair play to him. But when it comes down to it, are these players ready to put their body on the line? Are they prepared to give it their all? Are they prepared to bled sweat and tears, blood tears for us on Saturday? No. They'll go 1-0 down, and the heads will go down, and they start playing it around like they're nervous little kittens. And if we go down, these players won't give a shit. They'll be gone in the summer as quick as Tequila can say, I'm Jack the Flash. Sorry, Tequila. But do you know my point? They're going to be out the door as quickly. And these owners, they're not going to give a shit either. They're not going to invest the money we need, the 4, 5, 600 million that we're going to need to reinvest in this squad. They're not. So if there, it's an old saying, if you're not prepared to play, get off the pot. Get off. Just move on. Go somewhere else. Give it to people that care about the football club, that are willing to put the fans first, that are willing to put the football club first, that are willing to prepared to put money in, invest the proper money we need to buy a better squad so we can be able to compete. And all this, right? All these things and that, oh, we need to get relegated for a reset. That's a load of BS as well. Who wants really, seriously, hand on heart, who wants to hand on heart, would you really, at the end of the day, want Tottenham Hotspur relegated? Just because we may get a reset. We may not come back the first time in the championship. We could be there for a couple of seasons. But all of this, all of what's happening now, it's all been on Enix and the Lewis family's watch, and they've let it happen. They've let it happen. The downfall of all of this started last season when it was okay. It was okay to lose in the Premier League. It was okay. It was acceptable to not perform in the Premier League. It was acceptable just to perform in one league and concentrate in Europe. It was acceptable. It was acceptable to fail. It was acceptable to lose games. It was acceptable not to perform. It was acceptable just to give up. It was acceptable. And that's where it all set in. It was allowed by the ownership. It was allowed by Levy, by Paratici, as much as I do praise Paratici. It was allowed by everyone. That culture to sick in. It was okay to lose. It was okay to be a failure in the league. Your league is your bread and butter. Anything else is a bonus. Your job at the start of every season is to get 40 points. That's your job. That's your objective. And anything else is a bonus. But your job, every team from top to bottom, from first to bottom, your aim is to meet your objective. And your objective is firstly to remain in the Premier League. And secondly, it is to finish where you think you're going to finish. And then thirdly, if you win anything, that's a complete bonus. But it was acceptable to lose because it's okay. We're 13 points clear of relegation. We're not going to go down because there was 3 shit teams than us. Let's all focus on the Europa League. And I'm not taking away that Europa League win. Best night of, a second European night of watching Tottenham win in Europe. Absolutely fantastic. Got to do the Super Cup as well, which was, I tell you what, a privilege to do a watch along to. But that culture and Lang is part of that culture. Lang is part of that culture of failure. Lang's part of that culture of the acceptance. It's acceptable to not to fail, to dare is not to do. And I think he should have been sacked immediately after the January window. He should have been sacked halfway through the window. When he came out with the statement saying, we don't need to buy anyone. We have players coming back. We're going to be okay. How the hell did he know what was going to happen? He didn't know. He knew full well how injured these players were. And by another way as well, our medical department is probably the worst in the Premier League. So again, that falls on the Lewis family. You can say what you want about Daniel Levy, and you can criticize him, and rightly so be criticized. And rightly so, I'm glad he's gone. But the one thing that I think that he did bring was he brought balance to running the football club. He knew exactly what everything was doing within that club. He may not have got it right, but by damn, if he knew a manager wasn't doing his job and he knew that manager wasn't going to get us relegated, he would have nipped it in the bud straight away. And we allowed that to fester. We allowed it to fester under Ange Postecoglou. We allowed it to fester. And that, again, that accountability, that acceptance of losing in the league. It's okay to lose in the Premier League. We're not going to get relegated because we're too big to go down. We're not too big to go down. And then that goes over to the transfers as well. It's okay not to spend money. It's acceptable just to go out and just do a bit, just do enough. Let's bring in a couple of statement signings. You think about it last summer. We only bought, what was it, 2 players in last summer? Kudus and Xavi. All the rest were on loans. Paulinho on loan. We got the PSG reject on loan. So our summer business wasn't great either. And that should have been a red flag straight away. That should have been him out the door. Give it to Paratici. Let him run it. This club is a total mess. This club is a total shambles. Thanks to people like Johan Lang. And if we lose on Saturday and West Ham beat Crystal Palace next Monday, then we're screwed. Then we are going down to the Championship, because then we will be 5 points clear. We will be 5 points from safety. So it's a win and a draw away from surviving. It doesn't matter. Their attitude is it doesn't matter what happens, because we're still going to rake in a lot of money from the commercial side of it. So really, they don't care about the football side of it, because it doesn't matter, because we're making so much money off the commercial side of it, of the concerts, of the boxing or whatever. The football side doesn't matter anymore. And a lot of other clubs are going down that road. But you look at Leeds the other night when they beat Manchester United. Them players were hungry. Them players were determined. We're not going down. You look at Nottingham Forest. We're not going down. You look at West Ham, who were, by the way, 13 points behind us when they beat us early in the season. They were 13 points behind us. Let that sink in. 13 points. Now where are we? We're 2 points behind West Ham. You couldn't make it up. You just could not make up. Right. Yeah, just as well, Tequila around. It just, he hasn't been feeling too well lately, and I'm hopefully he'll be back in the next couple of weeks. But he's just taken a few days off to recover and just to get over the bug he's got. But yeah, he will be back. Hopefully now he will be back before the end of the season. But he just needs a bit of time to get over the bug he has. So yeah. So everyone, please send your best wishes to Tequila in the chat and wish him a speedy recovery. But he will be back. Don't worry, the Simon Jordan will return. I can't wait to have him back. I miss having him here. Right, let's welcome a few people in the chat. Sorry about my 25-minute rant. Sorry about that. What am I going to say? Jesus, I have lost a lot of chat. Big up to you, Tequila. There he is. Big up to you. He says, because they're not going to sell. No businessman sells the West Ham. Tequila, the thing is, there'll be people lining up to buy Tottenham now. And also, the question I will ask, and I'm asking the chat this as well. Do you think Enoch have it? Do you feel the Lewis family have it in them to actually say, right, we're going to do a proper job of this now? We've messed this up. We need to put it right. Or do you think they will get, if somebody offered them a good value and say, look, we're going to take Tottenham off your hands, will they take it? Let me know what you think. Big up to Gunnar as well. I'm feeling a positive result. If you all want to be down and be weak, have no belief, you don't deserve to stay up. I take it you're an Arsenal fan. I don't know how your bottling's going at the moment, but you're doing a fantastic job. You've bottled the League Cup. You bottled the FA Cup. You may be bottling the league. I was on the stream last night watching your game. Now, I don't know if you're an Arsenal fan. I take it you are. So I take it by God that you are. I mean, it was boring last night. I am positive. I'm positive that we can stay up. I still believe we can stay up. I still believe that we can do it. I still believe if football has taught me anything, if football's taught me one thing, is never say never. Football has an awful habit of turning around on the sixpence, has an awful habit of bite you in the arse. I still believe we can stay up, but I do even me, even I can be so delusional at times. Even me think if we go 5 points from safety, that is going to be very difficult to to get to make up because then it was sort of so if we play this what we 5 games after this game on Saturday, so you've got 5 games and 5 points behind. You probably get to Leeds, knowing if you lose at Leeds, you're probably getting relegated. That's why I think this is all the stars are aligning to play either Leeds or possibly all the stars are aligning. People have said it to me. If we lose to Chelsea, Chelsea could relegate us. Can you imagine if Chelsea could do that? Big up to you. Thomas Mullen, it says Thomas, Frank should have never been appointed on about 12 of these players. Yeah, I totally agree. Totally agree. If the players think you have no belief, why would they? Why would you have? Because I believe in my football club. No, he wouldn't have because he stayed with Bonehead Ange too long. That's true. Already set a line for him in my mind. He crossed it quicker than I thought. Don't even get to have fun with the twat. Who? Who you on about now? He was very upset anyway when Bonnie. Did you sleep with his wife? What the hell are you two on about? I have no idea what you two are on about. Uh, uh, Big up to you, Geordie. Big up, Geordie. It says, hello, mate. How are they, lad? Big up to you, Geordie. You're having a bit of a disaster of a season like us at the moment, to be fair. Yeah, true, mate. Players are not loyal to the club. No, they're not. Big up to you, buddy. He says, do you think they lost their identity when Harry Kane left Tottenham by the way he made the right choice jumping ship to seek refuge in Germany? He probably knew it was coming. I think Tottenham lost their identity a long before that. If I'm being honest, I think they have lost their identity long before that. Big up to you, as it says, Johan Lang. Yeah, equals twat. Exactly. Exactly. In VDV, are good enough captains at the end of the season, or would you pick another player as captain? Um, Look, we know VDV is going to be captain, so that we know that's going to happen. Do you know what? Palunia. He might be a shout. Let me know what you think, Palunia. Big up to Iceman. He says, big up Dermere in the chat. F off Lang, F off Vinay. Villa got rid of Lang for a reason. Yeah, because he was shit at his job. And Arsenal sent Vinay his choice. Yeah. Big up to you, Rob Plan as well. Even to you. When has the Lewis family ever came out once? Exactly. They haven't. Dermo, I think I'll go to the Guinness Book of Records for the longest Tottenham Hotspur rant, but they deserve a bank. Yeah, I think I might have done actually. Oh dear. Iceman Dermo, we do have one leg in the championship. I totally agree with that. Big up to Gilly, wishing you well, best brother. I doubt they would take a reduced price, maybe a slightly reduced price. I wouldn't read those messages from Gunner if I were you. Uh, uh, what else did he say? He's just a deluded Arsenal fan. That he's just a deluded Arsenal fan that are bottling it all. Um, Yeah, so another bit of news as well, guys. So that was the only little bit about that actually article. It did start off, and I will read the bit out, top bit out, which I think is really interesting. The Lewis family have no plans to put Tottenham up for sale, despite the looming threat of relegation. Vivian Lewis and her son-in-law, Nick Bucher, has become a key ownership figure since Spurs ousted chairman Daniel Levy in September and have not been deterred by a miserable first season in charge. Spurs are currently in the relegation zone with 6 Premier League games remaining and are still without a league win this year. Last month appointed Roberto De Zerbi as their third head coach of the season. It does go on to say the Lewis family trust control Spurs as the majority owners of ENIC. There have been flurries of takeover claims in 7 months since Levy's exit, but sources close to the family and said it's not for sale and they are committed no matter what. Day-to-day operations are run by Vinay and sporting director Johan Lang. He'd be out the door soon. So that was that. We also got this as well. Now, right. So this that Tottenham are expected to change in leadership. Spurs have one identity to another now, and they are keeping tabs on the same time. Where I'm coming from. Spurs have been stumbling from one identity to another, and then they capping tabs on another Italian to fix their problems. The man in question is Cristiano Gianita Tulli, who is currently without a club, having left Juventus before the end of last season. He found himself under pressure after the sacking of Thiago Motta and was held responsible for a lot of bad deals done by Benny Conte. Increasingly, Juve haven't exactly been better since his departure. Whilst that is probably points to another issue at the club, Giannotti is well known in Italy for having engineered Napoli's rise to the top. As he looks for a new destination, Tottenham have emerged as a possibility. Now, he's one of many names within that link. This comes amidst some drama as ASC chief advisor Claudio Ranieri and manager John Pereiro Gassabinti have been fighting in public for weeks. So he's in the chat. So could Gonti Tully be a good revival? Well, he did lay the foundations for Napoli's rise to success under Conte. So he has done that. He was the 54 was present at Tottenham's home game against Crystal Palace earlier this year, where we lost 3-0 at home. So there's that. So look, we know Johan Lang's leaving. Good riddance to the Lang. He can go. And we know I look, I'd be happy if we got this man in because if you look at what he did at at Napoli and laid the foundations for Conte's success, then I think it would be a good signing. Yes, he has had not great Juventus, but not every club's going to work out, is it? To be fair. Um, Also, just the last bit of news as well before I finish up. I was looking at it. Where was it? I had it there and I lost it. Uh, no, it's gone. It's gone. Look, I look. I just as I end off the stream, I've realised being quite negative about the club and about the owners and about the players. One thing for me has always been a true factor of this season has been our fans. We have turned up for every game. But it's about time us fans need to get together and get these ownership out and let them know this is not acceptable. So please do get behind any protests that are coming. And I think there should be protests. I think there should be some sort of a sit-in after the Brighton game. There has to be something done now. We've let it slide too long. These owners think these owners have the right to relegate our football club and we could be relegated. And that for me is just that's it. I that's the red line you do not cross. And do Tottenham deserve to be relegated? The owners deserve the relegation. These players deserve the relegation, but not the fans. And anyone that says, and I hate this, and I'm standing by this, that, oh, this is the club you deserve, this is the club you get. That is so BS. We don't, as fans, we don't buy players, we don't sell players, um, we don't sack managers, we don't hire managers. All we do is all we do is go and support the team the best way we can. And yes, if they play bad, we're going to boo. If they win, we're going to celebrate. But a lot of fans just want to go and watch the game. But you look at Manchester United when they protest, thousands turn up. You look at Arsenal when they protest, turns up. You look at Liverpool turn up, thousands turned up the other day. And we need to do it now. We all got together to get Alan Sugar out, and I was part of that protest as well to get Alan Sugar out. And I think that was the biggest mistake we made by letting Enoch into this club. We drove a man to sell it to an evil scumbag of an ownership that have only won 2 trophies since 2000. Think about that. 2 trophies in 2000, since 2000 or 2001. Alan Sugar won, well, he won 1 trophy. He won, but he didn't technically win the FA Cup. Ivan Scotter, in his short tenure at Tottenham, won an FA Cup, 2 FA Cups, and the UEFA Cup. Reached an FA Cup final as well in '87. It makes you think, doesn't it? It makes you think. Yeah, of course we can. Of course we can, bud. Just the email's in the section below. So let me know, Iceman. Email me. Yeah, let us know, bud, and we will yeah. So email us and email me, and I'll get to the email tonight or tomorrow, and we'll sort something up, bud. No problem. Big up to this. It's a 30-minute walkout that gained notice on television optics. Yeah, there might be a walkout when we're losing 2-0 on Saturday. Then there will be a walkout. Lang doing an effing good job. Are you sure, Del Boy? He's doing a fucking shit job. And then big up to you, Broad Bean. It says so long. He's been so long. He's the first. Yeah, the first of many. It is right, guys. That is it. That is all I'm going to say tonight. I know I've had a bit of a rant on the players. I've had a little bit of a rant on the way Tottenham are at the moment. It breaks my heart to see the club like this. It does break my heart because I supported this football club back in the early '80s, back when players like Glenn Hoddle, Graham Roberts, Paul Miller, Chris Hughton, Steve Archibald, Garth Cooks, Ozzy Ardiles, Ricky Villa, and I grew up with legends like that at the football club, where to dare was to do, where where Tottenham played for the fans and the fans supported the football club for the players. We were all one. And it's a club I do not recognise anymore, and it breaks my heart. It breaks my heart to see the team that I've supported for nearly 45 years, where we've become. I will always back the team. I'll always back the team to stay up, back the club to stay in the Premier League. I believe. I will believe until it's no longer possible to believe that we're going to stay up. And I still do. I still think we're going to get out of this. I think by the time we get to Everton, and I said it before, it's going to go to the last game of the season against Everton, and we're going to stay up by a point. We're going to stay up by 1 point. You can clip that if you want. If you want to clip it, clip it. Tottenham Hotspur on the when's the end of the season? Colin, if you're watching as well, bud, you can clip this. Right. 24th of May, 2026. Tottenham Hotspur at the end of the season, when the last game, when the final whistle was blown at 5:45, Tottenham Hotspur will stay in the Premier League by 1 point. And Nottingham Forest are the ones that West Ham will go down by 1 point. I'm sick of my neck on the line. Tottenham will survive. We're going to stay up by 1 point. So Tequila or Colin, if you want to clip that, and you can play it to me. If we get relegated, you have every every right to play that to me at the end of the season, but I think we are. I think we are going to stay up by 1 point. I think there's a lot more twists and turns left in this season. You know, going to Palace is not going to be an easy game for West Ham. We could end up beating Brighton on Saturday. Funnier things have happened. But I believe, and I'm going to stay believing. I will believe until it's mathematically impossible. Once it's mathematically done that we can't stay up, then that I will admit, okay, fine, we're going down. Until then, I'm going to believe and staying believing that we can stay up. Call me delusional, call me whatever, but I will believe in this football club until the day I die. Guys, thank you all for watching. We're back tomorrow at 8 with a build up to the Brighton tomorrow at 5 o'clock. Also join me as well when they do after the presser as we go over De Zerbi's second press conference at church. Saturday, we've got the player ratings coming out about 9 o'clock Saturday morning. Do join me at at 5 o'clock for the watch along as we'll go over the lineup and we look and then we do the watch along and then of course we've got after the whistle afterwards as well. And then Sunday at 5 we've got player ratings, and then Monday it is doing the post match show. And no, Monday, what am I doing Monday? Monday I'm doing the hate along. I'm doing a hate along to the Palace West Ham game. So join me on Monday for that. Yes, the first of many hate alongs to the end of the season. But guys, if you can do me a favor, hit the like, hit the subscribe. We've just gone over to 2,700. We're only 300 away now from 3K. Let's get there before the start of the World Cup. I'm losing that as a marker. Come on, let's get there. By the end of the season, I want to be nearly at 3K. We can really put a big dent into that 300 before the end of the season. So come on, you Spurs. In the cockerel we trust. Always, I will support Tottenham Hotspur. And by the way, if we do go down, I ain't going nowhere. This channel will still produce content next season. Watch alongs will do exactly the same as we're doing now. We'll do it next season, even in the Championship. Do you know why? Because we don't quit on Tottenham. Maybe them players do, but we will never quit on Tottenham Hotspur. Come on, you Spurs.